Hey everybody, it's Heather. Welcome back to my channel. I'm sorry, there's so much that's been going on with me. Anyway, so if you're new to my channel and you're not exactly sure how you got here, this is my channel where I record my journey, my weight loss journey, and I do plan on getting weight loss surgery. My plan is to have the vertical gastric sleeve. I live in Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania, and I am 41, well, almost 41 years old. In July, I'll be 41. I am 5'5". I currently weigh 245 pounds. I originally, when I first weighed in, I was 249.5 pounds. I am supposed to lose 12.5 pounds before my surgery date, which is a struggle at this moment. I did get down to 240 pounds just a couple weeks ago. I was down to 240, and then I went to Zumba and I tore my ACL, which you can see in my last video. I talk about that. So I am not able to do any cardio at the moment. I do start physical therapy when's my physical therapy? I think next Wednesday or Thursday. Wednesday, the 11th. I start physical therapy next Wednesday. So I am going to talk to my physical therapist to see like what I can do. Right now I have my knee braced because the biggest problem with having an ACL tear is that your knee gives out because that muscle isn't there to like hold it into place. It's the muscle that attaches something to something. I don't know. Anyway, so that's the biggest concern is your knee giving out. I wish I had some wood here to knock on, but I do not because I have not experienced that since the very first night when I actually tore my ACL. And I just started bracing it. I think I bought a brace this past weekend just because I felt like if I brace it, it feels stronger and it doesn't like actually bother me to bend it when I brace it. And when I do brace it, I can go up and down the steps and it doesn't bother me at all. So I've had it braced continually 24/7 since I bought the brace. And it's just a simple brace that I got at CVS, or a local CVS. It's for people with knee injuries. So my hope is that if I brace it, I'm able to get on the treadmill. That's what I miss, is the treadmill. I love walking on the treadmill. I feel like I get a workout when I walk on the treadmill or if I run on the treadmill. Actually, I was trying to work myself up to 5K status. So I was doing the Couch to 5K app where I was like walking and then running and then walking and then running. And then I went to Zumba and started marching in place and tore my ACL. I don't know how the hell that happened, but it happened and here I am. At one point I thought that maybe my ACL was only partially torn, even though the doctor told me that it's an ACL, so if it's torn, it's torn. There is no partial tear. But I've read online, which that's like the worst thing you can do, by the way. I read online that people have had it repair itself from a partial tear. I don't know how you can tell if it's a partial tear. He just told me it was torn. Like, it was torn, that was it, you need surgery. Obviously, I opted to hold off on the surgery because I'm going to be out of work for about 2 weeks with my weight loss surgery whenever I get that done, which I'm actually shooting for August. Right now we're in May, so I'm shooting for August for my surgery. Let's see what else. I know why. The whole purpose of this video is I wanted to talk to you about, I went to visit with, I don't even know what kind of doctor this is, the doctor that does the sleep studies. I don't know what he would be considered. That's so bad of me being medical field, but I have no idea. Anyway, So I went and I met with him. He wasn't very personable, but I think he's the only one, like, in the area. I don't know. But anyway, he just wasn't personable. He was just very, like, cold and, like, straightforward and whatever. My appointment, I'm gonna have to have 3 separate appointments, which I am not very happy about. I was very, like, angry about that. So I had that appointment, and that was just for him to ask me some questions, and then say, yep, sounds like we need to do the sleep study. I have no idea why we even had to go to this appointment. I just thought it was stupid. I think that they should just schedule the sleep study or order the sleep study and be done with it. So, we ordered the sleep study, and then depending on what the results are from the sleep study, I may have to go back and get a CPAP study. So that's a second night. And then after that, I have to meet with if I need equipment, with the results of those 2 tests. Then I have to meet with the equipment company and the doctor on the same day to get my results, and I guess to get fitted for the equipment, or maybe to receive the equipment. I'm not sure what the deal is. But anyway, it was very aggravating. If you all aren't familiar with what a sleep study is, let me just explain that to you real quick. I am a snorer when I sleep at night. My husband and my children tell me that I snore very loudly. I could wake the dead. And that I gurgle and I gasp, and sometimes I stop breathing. So what that could possibly be is something called sleep apnea, where you stop breathing for periods of time while you're sleeping, and when you stop breathing, it stops the oxygen from flowing in your heart, and then it stops the oxygen from going into your brain. So what happens is you get very tired during the day, and you feel like you haven't slept, and you don't feel well rested, and you feel tired all the time. And in children, it can happen, and it also causes, like, learning difficulties because of not having the oxygen to the brain. It also taxes your heart. So what they do is they do this study where they connect, like, all these. You have to go in the evening, so I have to arrive there at 8 o'clock in the evening. They attach all these, like, electrode things, like, they put this gel in your hair, like, it's really gross, actually, but they put this gel in your hair, and they attach all these electrodes to your head, and then you lay down and you go to sleep. They can record you in the room, and the electrodes, like, record everything, like how many times you stop breathing, how many times you get restless, like all these crazy things. And then with the results, you get the diagnosis of sleep apnea depending on your results. From there, I believe the second study is called the CPAP study. So if you end up with sleep apnea and you're positive for sleep apnea, they do what's called a CPAP study. So what they do is you go in again 8 o'clock at night, you sleep overnight, they do the same exact thing, except they give you the CPAP, which is a mask that gets put on your face that blows air into your face. I don't know if any of you are familiar, but we used to do this to my kids when we were trying to teach them how to swim in the pool, like when they were babies. If you blow in a baby's face, they automatically take a breath in. So it's kind of the same deal. The air is flowing through the mask, and it's constantly hitting you in the face. So it's constantly making you breathe. So they test you for that to see if it's any better. If it is, then they order you your own CPAP machine for at home. Now, this is what I always find amusing. Like, my husband always says to me, like, oh, go and get the machine. It doesn't bother you. They're so quiet. And I don't know what they look like anymore, but they used to be like these big, like, masks. Like, it reminded me of, like, a fighter pilot that puts on the mask with, like, the hose coming out of it. That's kind of what it reminded me of. And I can just picture, like, wrestling with this damn thing in the middle of the night, waking up, have it wrapped around my neck, and like fighting with this CPAP machine. So we're gonna do it, okay? And we'll get the damn CPAP machine. We'll see how it goes. I'm hoping that after I get the surgery that losing weight, because that does help if you lose weight because there's not as much pressure on your chest. I don't know. He said, he looked at my throat and he said that it's a little like small, my airway. So he said that could be the reason why I'm snoring. But I gotta tell you, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't snore this bad prior to being this fat. So I can only hope that it gets better. So my only issue with going for all these is I am shooting for an August date. They will not schedule my surgery until all my tests and I get my results are completed, which tends to be really annoying to me for the simple fact that the first available date that I can get in for my sleep study is June 21st. Which is like a month and a half away from like now. We're in the beginning of May. So a month and a half away is when I can get in for my first test. Then they scheduled the CPAP test, just in case you need it, for June 29th. And then the first date that I can get in with the doctor is July 7th. So I'm hoping that dates are still available for August at that time, because I really have to get this done in August. I can't wait until September because with my job we get really, really busy in the month of September because the kids are going back to school. I work at a office. We're like the first one of its kind. We're a multi-specialty practice for children. We do mental health, medication management, occupational therapy, speech therapy, executive function coaching. We deal with kids that have Asperger's, ADHD, autism, and behavior disorders. So our big time of the year is the beginning of school. Like that's when the kids are needing stuff for school. The kids are starting to get their IEPs back in place. So they need like doctor's appointments. So a lot of our kids go off of their medication over the summer because they don't need it, because it's for focusing, which is primarily for school. So they need to get in for their med checks. They need letters for the nurses to take their medication during the day. Like, there are all of these different kinds of things that it's just crazy. Last year, we've only been open 2 years, and last year was my first back to school year. And I gotta tell you, the very first day of school, I worked by myself at the front desk, and it was insanity. So I made the rule. I'm the front office manager. You could probably call me the practice manager. We have a practice administrator. So you could probably call me the practice manager, because we kind of coincide together, and we like plan everything together. But anyway, I made this rule this year that no one is allowed to take off the first day of school, or even the first week of school. So I can't break my own rule. So I'm really wanting to get in there in August. Other than that, I just want to tell you real quick, I have been going to the gym. The only thing that I can work though right at this moment, until I find out from physical therapy if I can actually run on the treadmill, is my upper body. So I have to tell you, I spent an hour on my upper body. Now, my girlfriend keeps telling me that I continue to work your upper body, you will love the results. Apparently, once I lose the weight and my boobs go down, she keeps telling me they're going to be perky. I haven't had perky boobs in like 22 years, I think. So I can't imagine that these puppies, once they lose, aren't gonna sag to my like ass. But she claims they'll be perky, so I'll keep working it. But I gotta tell you, my arms feel like jello. Like they felt really, really bad yesterday, and today they're like killing me. So I can't wait to see what happens when I go back to the gym tomorrow. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will check in with you next time. Please follow and subscribe and leave me a comment. Let me know how your day's going. All right, bye.